guys, I did it. I broke out the hipster scarf and I built my Grixis deck. So I brought back one of my old favorites from the last set, the Grixis Midrange list. Made some tweaks with the new cards that I thought would enhance, and I think it did a good job, and it didn't disappoint in the games coming up. So let's get into the deck tech. Okay, so here's the deck. I'm going to try to go through this in some type of order. It is a mid-range deck, so there's a lot of interactions to go through, so there's a lot of different things to talk about. But we're going to start from the bottom end. For our main source of early control, Grixis usually uses Hand Hate to do that, so we have Agonizing Remorse and Thought Erasure as our main source to deal with their big threats and their important cards like Fires of Invention and some of their bigger creatures and bigger planeswalkers that they may be relying on to make the deck work. We're going to use the Thought Erasure and Agonizing Remorse. Now, I went 2 and 2. I like Agonizing Remorse better because of the exile effect. But Thought Erasure does synergize with our deck a little bit better. The Surveil allows us to put stuff in the graveyard for Kroxa and for Lazav. So I'm playing around with both just to see which ones are going to be better in the current meta. So if the exile effect doesn't matter, based on the decks you're going up against, then Thought Erasure is better. But if sometimes that exile really comes in handy. I mean, the Loris deck, one of the decks I'm going to showcase is that deck, and you don't want stuff in the graveyard. Exile is very important. So running 2 and 2, I think right now until we figure out what's best is fine, just so we can kind of feel out the decks, feel out the meta, and you can make that decision for yourself too if you decide to play this deck. Heartless Act. So this is one of the cards from the new set that is a very, very strong removal. A lot of creatures don't have counters. I think that when they made this, they thought everybody was going to be running like the Menace counters and flying counters, but so far that hasn't been the case. Those decks haven't really gotten popular, so two mana removal spell for any creature is really, really powerful. So I put this is the new edition, and this is a very good thing for anything running black. Lazav. So if you haven't watched the last video from Theros on a deck very similar, and you haven't seen this interaction before, Lazav and Kroxa combo. Basically, Kroxa is a 2-mana 6/6, and you can turn Lazav into that as long as it's in your graveyard. So you want to put Lazav down first if you have both in your hand. You might be able to surveil a Kroxa into the graveyard, and then the next turn you can turn it into a 6/6, and a 6/6 on turn 3 is very powerful. Worst case, turn 4, you can get it down if you have both of them as well. So you'll see how powerful this is in the upcoming games, but this is a very core of the deck. And Lazav itself, you can turn it into Thief of Sanity, you can turn it into Cavalier of Night, you can turn it later in the game. So it has a lot of flexibility there. There's only 3 here because it is legendary, and it is a 1/3 if you don't have anything in the graveyard, so you don't want to have too many, but when you can make this work, this will win you games. It's very, very good. Angrath's Rampage, very flexible removal spell. Kroxa gives you that late game threat, obviously, with bringing it back from the graveyard, and combos with Lazav. So that combo right there is just kills people. Murderous Rider. It's another creature that we can use in the mid game. The lifelink's good, also flexible removal spell as well. Thief of Sanity. I don't build Grixis without Thief. I just, one of the reasons I play Grixis is to play Thief of Sanity because it's such a fun card to play, and stealing your opponent's cards and beating them with their own cards is hilarious. And then also it forces them to remove it, because if Thief hits like 2 or 3 times, there's a good chance you've gained so much value that you're gonna overtake the game. Not always, but a lot of times, and they have to deal with it. So it forces out removal, it forces out counters, forces out a lot of stuff from them. Atris, very flexible card. This is one of our main sources of draw in the deck. We don't have a lot of it, so this as a 4-mana 3/2 with Menace that can get you 1 or 2 cards is very good. And then if you say they're giving you 2 lands as an option, and you drop those 2 lands into the graveyard, that just fuels Kroxa. So putting more stuff in the graveyard is going to help you with that. Then we have Cavalier. So the killing their creatures is good, obviously. Bringing back like Lazav or Thief of Sanity from the graveyard too, if it does die. And then the lifelink is very powerful as well. Now, one thing, you don't have to, like, whenever you have with Cavalier, and the same thing, this goes for Lukka too. there's not a lot of stuff in this deck that you want to actually sacrifice. That being said, we do have the next two cards, Ashiok and Shark Typhoon. So Ashiok creates tokens. You can sacrifice the tokens. So you have Ashiok, you +1, then you put Cavalier down, sacrifice the token, sacrifice one of those things. Same thing with Shark Typhoon. You're going to cycle Shark Typhoon, you're going to make a flyer, a little token, and you can sacrifice it as well. You can also use that with Lukka, although what you get might be down here. But even still, you can still use that sacrifice effect to get a better creature on the board as well. So a cool little interaction. And the same thing goes for the Liliana tokens as well. Now, Lukka is an interesting card from the new set. We're not memeing with Lukka in this deck. The +1 is a very powerful effect for us to get more value and to filter through our deck to these good mid-range creatures. So the +1 is one of the main points of this, but the -2 also, if you have like I said, one of those tokens, or you have Lazav with nothing in the graveyard, or you have just maybe like an Atris that isn't really doing that much now that's on the board, you can use the -2 and you can get a Cavalier, you can get Agent of Treachery, you can get all of that stuff. So it gives you a good way to filter out your weaker creatures to get bigger creatures, and I'm sure you might have seen some fun interactions with Lukka before, so it's a good addition to the deck, and the +1 specifically as well to get through to some good creatures is very good as well. So that's why he's in there. And then Liliana on the top end, because she's the Queen of Grixis and the Agent of Treachery as a late game play, and to combo with Lukka as well. So that's the main board. Now, we did get a couple sideboard cards, one specifically actually, and that's Extinction Event. So this is a very good card in certain situations. I have one in the sideboard. You could put more. The Exile is important because it does exile whatever it kills. So against the Loris deck, it's good. And then it's a little bit more flexible than some of the other removal because you can avoid your own creatures. A lot of times in the mid-range deck, you're going to have like one creature on the board. And so it's really easy to play around the odd even. If it's an odd creature, you're going to select even. Hopefully that can hit. A lot of times it does. You'd be surprised. Like looking at this card originally, I was like, it's too RNG. You're never going to know what they have and what's on the board. But it's actually not that hard to hit a lot of things and get a lot of value out of this card for a 4-mana exile effect. And against the Loris deck, it is good. Cry of the Carnarium is, again, there for the Loris deck. That's a very popular deck on the ladder, and I do have a matchup against that in the games coming up, but this is a key card, and this is a key card. The other things, similar sideboards to increase our matchups against the Bant control, Elder Spell against the Planeswalker decks, Mystical Dispute against some of the counter decks. The one deck I'm worried about this one for is the Flash deck, because it's fast, so it's going to be hard to get up there, and they can counter a lot of our stuff. That deck, I'm not sure how well we're going to fare, but Mystical Dispute's in there to help with that. We also have Chandra to help with the counter decks, so hopefully, if we can get to 6 mana, we are able to maybe put Chandra down, maybe clear the board, get some value there, but we'll see how that matches up. Ashiok again for the graveyard decks like Loris and stuff like that. That's sideboard. So hopefully you enjoy the games. I know I did. We have a couple good ones coming up, so enjoy. Okay, so we have Agonizing Remorse and Thief of Sanity. I'll take it. So we have 2 black sources, our red and our blue. So we have a good mana base. So I have 2 options. I could start off with Fabled Passage, but I'm going to save it because I have 3 lands. If I don't hit the 3rd, that could be a problem. Okay, Innkeeper. Alright, that's fine. It makes our decision easier. Not yet. Innkeeper goes down. I wonder if this is going to be Adventure, like Clover. We're going to figure out what he has next turn with Agonizing Remorse. Fae and Great Henge, so we're going to get rid of the Fae. We have the other one. We'll take the Great Henge out next turn because he's going to drop this turn. I mean, we're taking damage, but we're going up to Cavalier. It would be nice to draw some of our removal. Might just die here, though. Oh, we're going to take out the Henge. So, unfortunately, we're probably going to have to use Thief as a blocker. Because, actually, doesn't matter, we're going to die. It's too fast for us. We don't have a way to survive. But we know what we're putting in. Alright, so we want removal. Obviously, Noxious Grasp. Aether Gust. Extinction Event. Cry is okay. I didn't see a lot of his deck. I basically just got beat down with Lovestruck Beast, but... let's do this. Let's take out Angrat's Rampage. Keep Murderous Rider. Take out a little bit of the top end, like Lukka, one Shark Typhoon, and one Ashiok. It's a good blocker though, but whatever, we'll see. And then I want to take out... Nah. Put at least one Cry in. I've not seen anybody running a deck like this, and first video with this deck. Go against something weird. Alright, that's okay. At least we're going first. Try not to kill ourselves this time. We're in a better position than we were last time. We're going to start out with Lazav. I don't know if I really want that in the graveyard. Yeah. Let's try to hit a land. If we can hit a land next turn, we can go Thief of Sanity. No. Oh well. Yeah, if we would have hit a land that turn, we would have Thief of Sanity, and then next turn we would have dropped the Fable Passage and been able to drop Kroxa and then turn Lazav into Kroxa. Oh, I guess that was enough. He knows what shenanigans are afoot, and I think he missed his land drops. Guess we stay like that. Nothing really changed in that game. He knew what was about to happen. He knew I was about to turn Lazav into Kroxa and start beating him with a 6/6. Okay, so we're going second. We need some removal. Okay, that's removal. We got 2 sources of removal. Enough to slow the bleeding. It's perfect. Yep. Innkeeper? I'm going to kill the Innkeeper. Could Aether Gust the Innkeeper. And then Noxious Grasp that. Do that. I'm gonna do it during my phase because I don't want him to cast anything. And yeah, I don't care that he draws it next turn. Because it'll stop him from putting on the Lovestruck Beast. Basically just slowing him down until we can get into our bigger plays. Okay. I mean, this has to be Clover, right? I mean, I've seen Fae of Wishes and all the other cards, but I haven't seen the Clover. It's just been Lovestruck Beast and Edgewalling Keeper beatdowns, basically. I mean, we're gonna take some damage. Could Oracle. But I think I need to get Croaks out soon. So we're going to take damage this turn, but we should hopefully be able to stabilize the turn after. Okay. What is he planning? Okay, Tamiya's fine. Problem is, attacking with Croaks still probably our best bet here. Cavalier's good. We're going dangerously low here. But we gotta get Tamiyo out of here.
Our time together is finished.
Another Beanstalk Giant. But by doing that, that means he's not casting it, so that's a good thing. Good. Perfect. Okay. So we're gonna... Alright. I guess he saw the writing on the wall. We were taking him down to 5, and then he could have Beanstalk Gianted, but still. Alright, well, that does it. Apparently, turning Lazav into Croaks is good. Alright, Valdwin. We will definitely be going first. Okay, we only have 2 lands. But we do have a lot of 2-drops, and we have the Scry off Lazav, so I'm going to keep it. We also have the Scry off the Temple. So we're looking for more lands, specifically red mana. Not Lukka. Heartless Act, man. This card is so good. 2 mana creature removal. And it hits pretty much everything. This is Loris. So Agonizing Remorse isn't bad because it does exile whatever we choose. And we have our sideboard built to deal with this deck, but our main board, we kind of need to race him. If a cat comes down, I'd be really mad. Alright, no. Please. Oh, well, that works too, I guess. Next turn we Agonizing Remorse. Oh, we got another one. I'm still gonna do this now. Rixmati and Croxa. Croxa is probably the obvious choice. But this is card draw. I can afford to dump a card. That could have been the wrong decision. Ah, that stupid cat off the top. Alright. Kitty doing kitty things. But that's a good sign. He has another food anyways. Let's say he put the cat down at the end of his turn so I can kill it with Heartless Act, but it's not going to matter. I need an exile effect though. Yep, probably should have took Rix. That would have been the right decision. Gets us to 5 mana. Can't really attack with that. I'm gonna get more red mana. So he can bring Croxa back now, but he'd have to kill the... Oh, well, yeah. He's going to attack just so I can... Just to sacrifice stuff to bring Croxa back. Or he's just going to bring all his stuff back from the graveyard with Lars. Murderous Rider. We can use Murderous Rider to take out Loris. One, two, three, four, five. Problem is he's just going to sacrifice it anyways. And then bring back Kroxa next turn. Which will probably kill us. Alright, so I'm just putting Murderous Rider down as a blocker. I don't want to take the damage with the Murderous Rider. Okay, we'll see if he might sacrifice the Dreadhorde Butcher to keep Ashiok off of the ultimate here. Okay, so I don't know if he can bring Kroxa back. He probably has lethal. Oh, he has another Kroxa. Damn it. Forgot it because of Loris. Yes. Oh wait, no, never mind. That was the Murderous Rider. Really wouldn't have mattered which way I did that, I guess, right? I just lost. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna need to do it like this. Let's go here. We're gonna cast Kroxa and Rix. Unfortunately, it goes into his graveyard, so it doesn't really matter, right? Attack with the Murderous Rider to gain some life. Oh, actually, we don't gain any life. Never mind, that's lethal. Bye. And we out. Alright, Cry of the Carnarium. Definitely. Extinction Event. Definitely. All exile effects. Ashiok. Yes. We're going to take out some of our top end. We're going to take out Lukka here. Liliana. Keep Ashiok. Cavalier's good. The Agent. And Grass Rampage. Okay, we'll go like this. Alright, so we need our exile effects. So we have Cry of the Carnarium. And nothing else. This isn't probably a bad keep, but we're going straight to Cry. So if we're going to let him load up the board, and then we're just going to exile everything. If he doesn't get a Witch's Oven, that would be ideal. Lead off with Blood Crypt. Oh. Get Grixis going. It's a little risky to take damage to shock these in, but it curves out well. Drops. Okay. Drops some removal. Obviously a little early to cry, but that's okay. Because then at least we can put our Blood Crypt down. And hey, him off to a slow start is never a bad thing. Found a second Witch's Oven. I haven't seen a cat yet. That's a good thing. We're going to put down Atris. This is going to let us fuel our graveyard as well as draw cards. Yeah. Although we do kind of need those lands now. Priest. Deadweight. It's fine. Ooh, Thief of Sanity. Do I just want to exile that? I don't think it's worth it. He has 2 cards in his hand. They both have to be small creatures. We're going to take the risk here. If he kills it, then we can at least cry. He might have a Claim the Firstborn. Yep. Should have known. Alright. Works for me. Goodbye. Still exiles it. Priest number 2. Well, so Grixis discards a card, but Priest will might be able to kill Grixis. Yeah, I think this is still our best bet. Get rid of any non-creature cards. That's good. That was good getting that out of his hand. Land. Got a land. Well, it's a land. That's for sure. Crooks is not the worst thing. What did he steal from me? That's what I want to know. Probably like... I took out Liliana, but I would say probably like Liliana or something. What do I have in here? Figure I might as well do this before, might as well get some damage in before he draws the cat, and I can't attack with Crooks anymore. In which case I might actually sacrifice it. Let's see. Let's get Lukka going. What, did I just hit 3 lands? No. Yes.
Enhance my tactics.
All right. Got the upper hand on that one. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know if Lukka was... I mean, Lukka's a good sort of source of draw earlier. We'll just leave it. Or later in the game. Even if you're not using the -2, being able to pull out and filter your deck through to some creatures, I think is still pretty good when you run out of steam. Ooh, no. 1 lander. I'm not risking that. There we go. That's better. Keep it. I like keeping both the thieves. Man. Alright. It's fine. That's the smart choice, but I wanted to be greedy and just keep them both, just because if he deals with one, which he probably will, with either Claim the Firstborn or he had a couple other cards, then we can follow it up and hopefully stick one. If we can stick a Thief of Sanity against this deck, we're good, because he runs a lot of cheap stuff, so we can get a bunch of cheap stuff on the board to block him out. Looking more for a Cry of the Carnarium or Extinction Event. Cat comes down. Probably just kill that. Gonna kill that. Might set him back a little bit. We'll put Thief down next. I would imagine if he had the oven, he would have played it. Oh, or he just has a second cat. That's a mistake. Didn't realize I drew a swamp. And I had a mountain. Okay, never mind. I just like killing myself. Alright, dead weight. That's the reason why I wanted to keep both of them. Well, that's good. We have that as a backup. We need to get life, though. I killed myself. I shouldn't have shocked that in. That actually could come back to really hurt me. Another cry. Alright. So he's not loading up the board, he's just trying to, right now he's just trying to get me to, alright. Yeah, let's do this. So now I have 3 Cry of the Carnarium, so that the game plan is just to hit it a bunch of times. Oh, that's bad. I have to kill that. Well, I actually probably should have let it hit. Well. Let's attack. We gotta put pressure on him. Man. Misplaying a lot. I didn't even realize that was untapped. Now he brings that back. He hits me for 2. Luckily, I have another Cry. Oh man, I'm so dumb. If I lose this game, it's completely my fault. Alright, thank God. I almost threw that into the garbage. I shocked in 2 lands that I shouldn't have. I also made a lot of misplays right there, so that was bad. But it didn't matter. This deck is pretty well equipped with all the exile, and having 3 Cry of the Carnariums obviously against this deck is pretty much game ending. Cool. I like it. I like it. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the deck. I love Grixis, it's so much fun, especially this version here. And some of the new cards, like Lukka's really good, and Heartless Act is extremely good at a removal spell. And I think this deck can perform pretty well. I mean, I just won 2 games straight, and I liked it a lot. It's a lot of fun to play. So, hope you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing to the channel if you like the content, and I will see you next time.